Level Up. That's my new jam right now.
Hey.
Hi. Did y'all catch us? Y'all thought y'all was gonna get some bloopers. I bet you they thought
they did probably because you know we had started it and then we were like, are we live? Because it's a little bit of a lag.
Yeah, no, sorry, no bloopers. You didn't get us, but yeah, we did say we need to be pre-recording so that we could give you guys the bloopers so you all can see just how pathetic this gets because it's all good. Yay!
Hola, maestra.
Oh, look, Camille. Oh, she up. Look, Camille will always be the first one on. I'm hoping that this will be Oh, yeah. Oh, duh. I'll try to have us live on IG too. We're gonna see how this is gonna do because we don't have the same conveniences. Because I left some stuff behind. It's all good. We gonna make it work. I tell you, that's all right. Yeah, forgive us. We're having technical difficulties, but we're gonna get right to couch conversations.
Yay! No. Hey, Damari. Hey, Camille. Hola, maestra y Damari. Gracias.
Yes.
Coming, and then I forgot. Does it open like this?
Well, you know what? But it's not gonna. Oh well, no, don't finish it. No, give it a time for the to buffer back up. I think we slightly crooked IG, but we're here. Okay? Matter of fact, look, Imani, don't say anything. I'm gonna prop it with something.
Don't say me. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you guys.
So what would be wrong is for you guys to assume that we've been drinking or something like that because the topic is. Assuming. So don't assume that we've been drinking or something. We're okay.
We're very sober. This is just how we roll.
Yeah.
But hey, you guys, we're glad you guys can join us. I titled mine. I know I titled mine one of the biggest, and you just let them know. What are the biggest obstacles in your business and your marriage that you're not even thinking about? And that's assumptions. So we're going to be talking about that a little bit today. But as always, we want to get to a little bit of the logistics, housekeeping stuff. I'm going to let August talk about it because, you know, you always say it so excited.
Do I? Okay, yes. So look, I'm going to get super duper excited, y'all. Last week, Camille won a free session with the two of us, okay? And so, But guess what? Everybody's name who was in there, you're still in there. Camille, I took all of your pieces out. Yes. And everybody that's continuing to share, guess what? I'm putting your name in there. This is for the people that happen to be on Facebook. So IG, YouTube, if y'all tuning in, come and find us on Facebook. If you share the videos, then guess what? You get your names put in a drawing 3 times in order for you to have a chance to win a session with Imani and myself. But just for being here live. So make sure you say, oh, thank you, darling.
Yeah, I know. So I said, thank you.
Make sure you say that you're here. All right. You get your name put in. And if you tag anybody who you know who needs this, you get your name put in as well to get an opportunity to get a session with the two of us. No fluff, no bull, real, life-changing information just to at least get you going. And that's for doing that. All right. Yeah. So, but anyway, we on a mission, right? Yeah. We're on a mission to help wives, women in business. Okay, so I help women in business, period. She helps women, period. But we're merging the two so that we can create something that's specifically for you guys. And when it comes to building a business, dealing with the drama that comes online, dealing with the stuff that you have to deal with your clients, figuring out the ropes, figuring out how to invest. Hey, how you doing?
Hey,
Scotch lover.
All right.
I like that. When it comes to dealing with all of the drama in business, I'm going to be dropping boulders on you left and right about what you need. But if you also happen to be a married woman, I got this chick over here, and we just getting ready to lace you up. And if you're a fella and you watching, you're welcome to stay. Scotch lover could be a babe. It could be a babe, but I used to roll with my homeboys, and so they drank the hard liquor. TMI, telling too much on myself. But then that's where Imani comes in. Yeah. With you tell them what you got. Tell
them what they want. No, but I'm really excited, really and truly and honestly, to be able to.
She's laughing.
She's laughing.
Please tell me if you're a he or she.
I know, so we don't have to keep saying that. But to be an added bonus, to be a support to what this woman right here does with folks in business, and everybody, I think almost everybody I see on here. I know Damari and Camille can attest to that already. You guys have seen it. And to be able to,
I knew it.
To add the support. Okay. To be able to add the support to that is huge, because August, you're going to be talking a lot about what it means and the assumptions in your business. But the funny thing is that when you first start, can I roll? I didn't even ask.
Where we gonna roll just yet, or we gonna tease them a little bit? Go. You know what? Go ahead and roll. Only thing I'm gonna say is this: is all of y'all assume some stuff in business.
Yes.
It's affecting your pockets, it's affecting your relationships. And so we getting ready to start dropping bombs. We're gonna start with the marriage side of things first, or it could just be relationships. You know, if you got a boo, you might want to figure this stuff out before you get married. And then I'm gonna go into the business side, because a lot of you all are killing yourself, and you basically are making your entrepreneurial endeavor into an entrepreneur job. And so the kind of information that I spit out is going to be the differentiator, and whether or not you're going to become more profitable, enjoy what you're doing, or you're going to be a slave to your own dream. And last but not least, possibly end up back in corporate America, because a lot of y'all entrepreneur faking. I see your profiles. I see what your stuff says. I go on your websites. I peruse you, and I see what you're doing. And you all need to hear the truth. And that's why we're here. So those of you that hang around, that stick around and listen, we don't give fluff. We don't give bull. We don't give 6 steps to 6 figures in 6 days, 6 steps to get sexy sex in 6 days, or whatever it is that you're looking for. We give you for real information that you're going to need in order to get you there. So go on, girl.
All right. On that note, and but seriously, what somebody told us just this weekend, that what we both do has a lot to do with relationships. What we both do is the essence of understanding how to nurture, how to really cultivate and maximize the relationships that we have. Our business relationships are paramount to your life, your dream, and your pockets, and your relationship with your spouse is paramount to how you run your house, your family legacy, and all of it in your business and your legacy. You know, your business and your family and your spouse, they're all part of that legacy in building those relationships. And we can say, oh, we know how to do that. And you know what I mean? They tell us how to do that and how to, you know, have courteous relationships.
You just gotta show up.
Right. You show up, you gotta be there. And, you know, we hear all of the broad stroke words. We're not broad stroke coaches. No. So we want to be able to talk to you seriously about what that looks like. And so I know August is about to drop bombs, but one of the things I was eager. I was see, this is what I'm talking about. We jumping right in, you know.
Well, ask them a question though.
Yeah. Okay, I want to know, in terms of assumptions, what are some assumptions that you made with your spouse? Have you, you know, and because that's my lane.
Exactly, Scott.
You said this information is good for men as well. Thank you, Scotch lover. I'm feeling it.
Especially when I get to the business aspect, Scott. I hope you stick around, because men actually like me, because I'm a no holds barred, no fluff, tell it like it is type of chick.
Straight no chaser.
Straight no damn chaser. So what's the assumptions, lady?
What are the assumptions? So I want you guys to put some in the, you said real talk, and yes. And you said #truth. Put some of the assumptions that you have about your spouse. Like, what are some of the things that you think you assume responses to questions? Yes.
Okay.
That's a good one, Camille. Like, I already know what you're gonna say when I ask you this. I already know how that's gonna go down, right?
What else?
You assume reactions. That is a big one.
Come on now, somebody else other than Camille.
I know she coming in like, are you
and Scott, help us. What's something that you assume with your significant other, or you know that other people assume in relationships as it pertains to business or whatever, support, getting help out in the home with the kids? What do you guys assume that your partner is going to do or say?
Yeah.
What is it? We got another one?
Assume that we think the same about certain situations. That's another good one.
That's another one.
That is another one. I'm trying to look on yours, but it's too far from me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you know, I'm not that old though. It's making me look old.
I don't want. I have to squint.
Hi, ladies.
Hi, lady. I can't see it.
Oh, but you know what? Look, I got it right here.
Okay, Lady Pamela. Hello. That is going to be the same this time around. Okay, and that I feel like there's a theme of the same, right?
Yes, it is.
It's always going to be the same. This is what you say is going to be the same. Their responses to what I have to say are going to be the same. When I ask a question, your answers are going to be the same old that I'm used to hearing, right?
Yeah.
and assume, I think, did I get all of them? I did.
Yeah,
and
no, that's
ultimately that seems to be
pretty much you. So you assume that you know what they're going to say. You assume you know how they're going to think. You assume that you make that assumption based on previous behaviors and stuff that they did.
Absolutely. And you know what's the real talk is that they're very most likely 9 times out of 10 are assuming the same things about you.
Yes.
Your spouse is assuming the same things about you. And then both of you are in this box like, okay, I know what's happening. I know what you're about to say. I know what you're going to do. You always do this. You never do this. Oh, and I used to burn biscuits like, if you say always one more time, because nobody's keeping score. Nobody's keeping a tally. We know it's not really always, but it definitely feels that way. You said, here's a good one. We assume she or he can't change.
That's a big assumption too.
It is.
So my thing is we brought this up for those of you all that attended the Sip and Share.
Yeah.
This was what made us make this be the topic of discussion for today. If you already assume that somebody's going to respond to something in a specific type of way, then let's be real. What does that say about the energy that you bring to the table?
Mm-hmm. I feel like
that requires a little bit of a pause, right? I want somebody to say, what do you think that means about the way you present information if you do it? If I'm afraid that I'm going to say something to Mr. Crenshaw that he doesn't want to hear or that he doesn't support, then I may potentially be like, I already know you probably gonna do this, that, and the other, but I could already come in a very defensive manner.
Right. Or you can come and try to like ease into a real soft on the eggshells. And and most of the time that frustrates the hell out of them. Let me know, Scotch lover.
Yeah, when you just want the one, what do you want, lady? Just say what it is. And if she's sitting there tiptoeing around it, you're getting frustrated. She thinks you're frustrated because of what you're saying to her, but in all actuality, you're frustrated because you wish she quit beating around the bush. Come on, give us some hearts or say something, put a hand clap or do the LOL. That's a compliment.
I feel like it too.
Look, can I be silly, Scotch lover? You just respond in an affirmative way with LOL for everything because you probably just had some scotch. No.
You said be concise.
Yes, exactly. There it goes. Be concise, real talk. And so go ahead, my bad.
I was trying to read that we have another comment. It's a reflection of me, what lives inside of me too, a mirror of my mindset.
Absolutely. So you set the tone.
Yeah.
You set the stage because of what you already presumed what was going to happen.
Absolutely.
And the most difficult thing for us to realize in our marriages, our businesses, or whatever, is that the people that get ahead the furthest, the fastest, are the ones who have an accountability mentality.
Absolutely.
And say, you know what? It doesn't matter what the other person is doing. It doesn't matter what this look like out there in the business arena. If I have a CEO mentality over my business, if I have an accountability mentality over my marriage, then that's when you begin to approach things differently. And we say it in cliche statements, be the change that you want to see.
Yes.
Right? That's what we say, but do we actually do it?
Right. And that's why Camille's point about it can you really change? We assume that you can't change. We assume that what is now is always going to be. And then even when you start to make the change, there can be this stretch of time before that becomes believable.
Absolutely.
Go, oh yeah, that is.
But now here goes the thing though, right? Is what most married couples deal with at some point is the fact that you changed. And it's like, no, they were changing, but you were never watching the evolution of them becoming just like you're changing. Nobody in a relationship stays exactly the same. The dynamics in my relationship have changed because now I have this force of a company that I built. So I'm the primary breadwinner. So things look very differently in the dynamic of our home. Right. But the way I showed up as a woman and cooking and cleaning, still working and beasting and making money was there. But nevertheless, there are things that are coming out of me. I've always been a force to be reckoned with. I've always had a powerful personality, but now dealing with business and coaching people and having to be straight, no chaser, and dealing with the shit that comes with really dealing in the entrepreneur arena, there's a different kind of lion that has to come out of me. And so me and my husband sometimes have to revisit conversations about what my boldness looks like, making sure I'm not stepping on his territory. But then he's also stepped into some different behaviors, doing some things he swore up and down he'd never be in the kitchen, but if I'm a beast to make this money, he gonna learn how to cook, you know, or go buy a lot of shit. But at the end of the day, somebody's gonna take care of feeding the family. It's no longer quote unquote, hey, Grace, going something to make sure that they eat. Hey, don't Tony Dub, what's going on? And so the dynamics are going to change. The dynamics are going to shift no matter what. And you got to ask yourself, wait a minute, what do I want? And if I know what I want, how am I going to get there? Well, it's going to have to do with your presentation. Now we get into selling yourself. You got to sell yourself in your relationship too.
I mean, you know, and that's
so
really,
to speak.
No, it's not like you married me already now. But it does shift though. There is an evolution of you and of your spouse. And the thing that you were feeling when you feel the disconnect is because your marriage has not evolved with you. Because, and then it's like, oh, you started shifting, or maybe you didn't. It takes compromise from both spouses.
Yes, Scotch. Yes.
I hear you, Scotch lover. And so one of the things, it's funny that you mentioned that, because when you first started, when you guys first got together, there might have been some assumptions, you know what I mean? Like when you first impression, but ultimately you were open and you were in a place where you were feeling like there was discovery to be had. For me and my spouse, it was back when Facebook was doing remember all those surveys where you had to answer all those questions all the time. I was reading all of his, he was reading all of mine, you know, but we were getting to know each other. We were in a space of discovery, even if we were assuming certain things about each other in that beginning phase.
Right.
Then you get into your business and you hungry. You're hungry. We get the hunger. I get the hunger.
So a whole nother beast comes
out. It's a whole other thing when you're trying to build your business, because now when you need to be more open, you're actually more close.
Absolutely. And you brought the business in a segue, but because of something that Scott said, I got a segue just for 2 seconds. He said it takes compromise from both spouses. So the other assumption is that compromise is a negative word, and we talk about this. We're not going to go into a whole episode about this, but that's another thing. Sometimes getting to the resolution that you want may be necessary for you to say, okay, well, we can do this, but we can't do that, or we can do this much of this and maybe not as much of that. And so you're compromising, but you're connected. So it's got to be a win-win. And so even your mentality towards just the words that you use to speak over the life of your relationships can really have a strong impact on what your communication is looking like, what in result you're actually getting. And so you got to really check your mindset to see, you know, what it is that you're believing. But here's the thing. If you're a person who naturally assumes, you would like to think that that's what happened. But I'm not assuming. That's just what the reality is in my relationship.
Right.
But if you, it's a characteristic, you guys. It's a principle that you operate in. And the reality is if you're a person that naturally assumes in your personal life, you will be the kind of person who will assume in your business life. And the assumptions could be a plethora of things. Everybody that's in here, think about some things, especially if you got over it. Let somebody know that you got over it. What's something that you assumed once you stepped into the online arena? What were your false beliefs about entrepreneurship once you began your business? Okay,
I got one.
Go ahead. What was your assumption?
Well, people are typing up that I had to automate off the bat.
Okay. Here's a good assumption. She said we justify our assumptions.
Absolutely.
She had the assumption she had to automate off the bat. And I know one person, God bless her soul, has the assumption that she has to start from the bottom and work her way up. That corporate arena thinking, I got to start in the mailroom, you know, and after, you know, a matter of fact, I'll start as the janitor, then I'll get promoted to the mailroom. And then after the mailroom, you know, maybe I can give, you know, the receptionist. And a lot of you don't even understand the possibilities with entrepreneurships, and you have limiting beliefs. And it's assumptions in your pricing. Nobody's put anything up. I don't think anybody wants to show that they're not a boss. They don't want to say, I assume this is okay.
Real talk.
You got to say what it is. What did you assume? Because it was something with your pricing. It was something with your marketing. It was something with your worthiness. It was something with the way that you thought that you had to show up. And assuming is what takes you down a path of building a business in 7 years that could have been potentially built and been stable in anywhere from 6 months to 2.5 years. Really. And I'm going to tell you just like this. Let's see. What did she say? I assume that the product.
I assume that I wasn't able to change my worth because I was a new business.
Ooh, that was
charge my worth.
I assumed I wasn't able to charge my worth because I was a new business. She assumed. I think I know what she meant by assume the product. What did she say?
I assume my family and friends would support me.
Ouch! Oh, you know, okay. I'm gonna switch gears on this. So support. You know how
I'm like, go ahead, because I'm like, that's a good.
That is a really, really good one. And first of all, now for those of you all that know me very well, you already know how to stomach me. But you know I'm straight, no chaser. So bear with me, Andy. I promise this is going down a golden path. The error of the entrepreneur is to believe that your friends and family are supposed to support you. I'm gonna say it again. The error in the entrepreneur is that your friends and family are supposed to support you. No, businesses do not thrive off of support. They thrive off of patronism. They thrive off of the fact that someone needs your product or your service. And it is unfair to believe that your friends and your family are supposed to be buying your stuff so that you can get out there, sharing your stuff so that you could be promoted, because we only share and we only buy that which we are in love with or addicted to, whether that's a Benz or a Pepsi. If you decide that you're gonna make Coke and you're gonna brand Coke and I drink Pepsi and I don't support you in your Coke business, it tastes like shit to me, then you wrong for wanting me to support you. And we don't think about it like that.
Because it's empty. It's empty. It's not sincere.
No, it isn't. It's like, okay, I'm going to do this, but who goes around just doing stuff just because? There has to be a connection. You can't live off of the support of just your family. And here's the thing, here's your family. Your friends and family is like this, and the world is like this, and at your fingertips, literally at your, thank you, girl, for not understanding that I'm being serious, but I'm being silly too, but I'm being real. I want to, give it to you as nice as I could, even though it's still straight, LOL. But seriously, at your fingertips is a disposal of people everywhere. I had a client that I interviewed a couple of weeks ago that said, well, are your clients based in Atlanta? I was like, no, they're in Atlanta. Let's see, let me just say all the states that I know that I can remember off the top of the dome. Several different cities in Florida, in North Carolina, in Atlanta, Colorado, various places in California, Singapore, the UK, Texas. Do you see what I'm saying? And so there are people all over the world that need and want my products and will pay for my products and services. So why would I expect my cousin and them to buy my book and to make sure that everybody else knows about it? Because if we expect them to support, are we also expecting to pay them if we recoup from the effort?
Did they get an extra little something as an incentive?
Do they get some stock in the company? Because people that came to Bill Gates with 500, 10,000, they recouping the costs. And so we got to really think about that. It is and I got your comment, Scott. I'm going to read that and definitely respond to it. You are supposed to be taking the time to understand what you have, who needs it and wants it, who wants it so badly that even if your product is a want, they will justify it as a need and that they will buy it from you. And it is your responsibility to target and market to those people and to charge the price that correlates with your value so that you can run a profitable business. So let's see what Scott says, and then we'll jump to the other part that Camille was talking about. You said, I'm an electrical contractor and family always wants a deep discount. Amen. It will make you feel that your business and craft is respected less by those who are close to you, in my opinion. That's real talk. That's real talk. And that's what happens with a lot of you guys. Oh, I've been around ever since you first started doing this. And whatever their justification is. And here's the reality, that if Scotch did not exist and was not an electrical contractor and something went crazy with the circuit breaker, they're going to be paying somebody a pretty penny in order to still get that work done. But see, here's the thing. If you have not girded your own mindset And if you don't understand that you have the right to assert your authority and put your price on it, you will not give the right conversation, because what you're assuming is that you don't have to give the right conversation because people already should know your value. But see, value is something that you're growing into. And I'm gonna pass the mic to you for this simple reason. You were having a conversation with friends and family. And can you mind saying it plainly when you told them what your prices were and what they say to you?
Oh man. So talking to a family member about my prices and what people invest in me, and they were like, "Ooh, okay, you know what I mean? You must be investing in some white folk, you know, because your people not gonna pay you." And they weren't necessarily talking about my family. They were talking about this. And when I first came out, when I was charging less, and I didn't even tell you this part,
come on,
I had the same conversation with a friend. And this was so much less than now. It almost seems crazy that they would say that, but they were like, yeah, like, I don't know who you going after. You must be going after the people, you know, some other people, some other folks that got a whole bunch of money. I'm like, the value that you convey, it comes back to you.
Absolutely. And so you guys have all kinds of assumptions. Your family members have all kinds of assumptions. They have the assumptions that say that you got to sell to the people that's in your neighborhood. They have the kind of assumptions that say that, you know, you're not upper class. You know, you was raised in, you know, the ghetto or the trailer, or you are a lower, you know, you're not even middle class. You're not necessarily poor, but you're not middle class. And how dare you come out here and say that you're going to charge this amount of money and it's such a premium cost, when at the end of the day, what you all assume is that credentials matter. That's what that boils down to. You cannot jump into the entrepreneurial arena and say, because I have a degree or I don't have a degree, because I live in this zip code or I don't live in this zip code, because I'm associated with this demographic, be that black or white, whether it's male or female, that there are certain rules to the exchange. I mean, it's very simple. Like women, you have the tendency to always come out the gate charging too little. I have never had a client. Listen, and you don't use absolutes, right? I have never had a female client that I have not had to challenge on their prices. I have never had a female client that I have not had to challenge on their pricing. And you want to know what's funny, to show you guys how deeply rooted that some things are in your psyche? You've been quoting them damn things that say that women are making 80% on the dollar to men, 70% on the dollar to men. It's even less if you're a minority. And then you come out here and a man will come out here and be like, yeah, I'm a coach. You need $5,000 to speak to me for 6 months. You're $5,000. Just started coaching. His shirt is wrinkled. He doesn't invest in the cleaners. I don't know what the hell he's doing with the money that people are taking from him. He looks broke, but he sounds confident. And then here you go, trying to pretty up yourself, get your makeup right, get your hair done, make sure you're photoshopped and you got your makeup on and your brows are absolutely perfect and your website is clean and you're sitting here and you got your IG on fleek. And then you come out and you got prices and you barely charging somebody $100 a session for information that's going to exponentially move their pockets, that's going to change the dynamic in their household, that's good, thank you, sir, that's going to do all of this stuff. You don't see your value. And now instead of making 80 cents on the dollar to a man, you're making about 20 cents on the dollar to a man. And so at some point you have to realize that there's no assumptions in entrepreneurship. There is strictly the power that resides in that says, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is how much I charge. What you want? You want some of this? Do you want some of this? And if you don't, guess what? It's okay. I'm not for you. Let me keep it pushing.
On. Exactly. And I want to say something you said, because you went back to value, and I know we have some comments, and while we're getting to them and reading them, you said that you talked to a client that wanted to basically start in the mailroom. But the first thing that came to my mind when you said that is you want to start in the mailroom of your own company. Of your own company.
Your own company.
What does that say about how you value what you're bringing to the table? And no one, I can't imagine there's going to be anyone who's going to invest in you if you don't see that value. Because if you're begging people to see the value in you, they're not going to see the value in you the way that if you don't see it in yourself.
Oh, can I step in your lane?
No, go ahead.
And we can either get to the comments.
I know. We comment, y'all.
Now peep game.
You know,
You stepped into this entrepreneur endeavor. At some point, you said to your partner, I know why I'm put on this earth. I'm going to impact the world. I'm going to make a shit ton of money. I'm going to leave my job. I'm potentially going to leave you with the burden of carrying the family because I'm going to get out of here and I'm going to build a business and I'm going to make money. And they may not be an entrepreneur and they may not exactly know what it is that you're doing. But then when they hear you say these penny prices that you're going to charge, they're sitting there looking at you like, I may not have taken calculus, but 1 + 1 is 2, and $2 will not take care of a $200 bill. And so, because you assume that you should start in the mailroom, your spouse or partner may not specifically be able to articulate with confidence, like I would as a coach, what's wrong with this picture that you set up. But they know that it's off, and at the rate that you're going, oh, here you go with another hobby. I'm finna be sitting here footing all these bills. You think, because you assume that your spouse had a problem with your business. You assume that your spouse doesn't support you, but they sitting here looking at you like, for real? You told me that you wanted to be a CEO and you started in the mailroom of your own damn company. Some of you guys are having issues in your household with your spouse, not because he or she does not support you, but because they hella confused because what you said with the conviction of your words and what you did when you stepped out here to build your business are like night and day. You talked like you was a queen, but you acting like a prostitute.
I was gonna say peasant, but
that works too. A peasant, yes.
No, but
I say prostitute a lot.
I know. I was like, because you have the king queen theme, so I was like, okay. If you devalue your brand, oh, absolutely.
Even your spouse.
Even your spouse, and they love you, and they're coming from that place. But the reality is, there's damn sure going to be frustration. There's damn sure going to be confusion because that closed offness that you feel, that hunger and that covetousness you have over your baby, your business, because that's what it becomes for us. Then anytime your spouse starts to inch in, it's like, oh, why are you coming over here? Don't be trying to tell me about my business. And you have blocked off so much because you assume like they don't care about the business, like you said, that they don't understand the business, so they ain't got nothing of value to tell you. And you just let that go by the wayside. And meanwhile, they're like, okay, so what's going on? What are we going to do? Because it's still our money going into this pot. It's still a circulation in our household.
If that's the only thing they see, they definitely see that you aren't bringing in your end of the bargain. Absolutely. And yes, a spouse, if they're there, should really support you. Yeah, let's get to the comments. If a spouse is really there to support you, yeah, they'll be there because sometimes there is an ebb and flow to business. And I don't care how long you've been in business, the interruption in business is always there. That's why you have to stay on the bleeding edge of thought. You need to be ahead of the curve, because there will always be things that will come out that could be like, woo, this new innovation for a season. For instance, hey, DoveCom, it may slow down your client intake. The influx may not be there. There are so many things that can get in the way. And so, yes, we understand that, your partner may need to endure some up and down seasons, but the reality of it is that it should not be a continuous down season. At some point you have to get a breakthrough, and you're going to have to make some different decisions if you're going to get there. What kind of comments do we have?
This is all of them. I'm starting with, I'm trying to like, I'm here.
I know Camille had a heavy one.
I had a family member say I wasn't a real doctor. PhD, by the way, okay, because I couldn't write her a prescription for medicine.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, we ghetto mindset.
Lord. What?
Keep going.
Okay. I love that you can laugh at me. Okay. Where's the snap emoji? Right here.
Hello. We need the snap emoji.
He said, I had to get my marriage in check to continue to build my business. It's key.
Absolutely. And can we go back a little further, because there were a couple of other scenarios. You have to go down the other way. That there were some other comments. So yeah, we just went down a really big path of assumptions. How much time we've been on here? We've been going hard. You guys.
I know.
I'm animated.
He said, yep, that's why business is business. You can't take it personal or you'll feel defeated all the time. Yeah, you gotta have a thick skin for this.
Can I share with them what happened?
Go ahead while I look at these comments.
You know what? And there's so much that's coming out of this, and you guys know that we can literally, it's 2:38. We can talk to you all forever. We know you can't stay on here forever, but thank God for replays, right? But let me tell you something that happened. And this happened with a client that I haven't been working with that long. And I want you all to hear this, because when I talk about the assumptions that you make, sometimes the assumption that you make is based on your investment. And then you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to invest in a coach. And if I go and I invest in August Crenshaw and I'm going to pay her all this money, I'm going to get everything I need to build my empire. Bam. And so this woman, you know, she signed a contract with me. We're working with each other. Now, here it is. She has a very robust dream. She has a very, very robust dream, and I can see it. And I'm co-signing with it, because you guys know how I am about working with people. I've got to see, feel, and believe your vision. I honestly believe that as a coach, I'm supposed to be a visionary, and I need to see beyond the scope of what your vision is. And so we're going through and we're working through her pricing. We're working through all of this structure. Now, mind you, I already went 30 minutes over the time frame of when her session was supposed to expire. And she's like, oh, you know, I was talking to somebody, you know, this was the thing I was afraid about, you know, how much time, you know, the amount of time that I'm going to have with you, you know, I feel like I need more time. And so that without giving you the whole conversation, in essence, what she was saying is, I'm paying you all this money, but I'm only getting this much time. And so I had to literally sit there and say to her, how long have you had this dream? We talking about a couple of years now, right? Oh, okay. How long have you been saying officially that you're going to execute? And you've been struggling and wavering with your pricing? Because I'm gonna tell you something, guys. As long as you guys are wavering with your prices, you ain't gonna never sell shit. You gotta have a commanding presence in order to sell. That's just it, point blank. That's when your masculine energy needs to come out, lady. And we all have ladies, and we all have both. But I'm digressing. Let me bring it back. And I said, so this right here is something that you could have listened to on a video, with understanding, you know, how to do all of these things. But guess what? Because your mind is racing all over the place, and you're having a problem separating what you know from this side of the world to the entrepreneurial side of the world. I'm working through the actual mechanics of telling you how to price your products and services. And so the thing is like, okay, do you realize that you getting more time with me does not mean that you're going to be able to build your business stronger, faster, harder, and it's going to make you a success overnight. You will be able to expediently move past other people that you're connected to. But what you cannot do is fight against the natural progression of growth. Right. And so I saw a billionaire's post when he was saying that if you want to be successful, you need to do all of these things. And the number one thing, it was saying that you need to be patient and endure time. Having a coach means that you condense the time, but it does not mean that you fully eradicate the time. And so some of you, the reason why you're afraid to invest and to get the help is because you look at the price that's on the tag, and then you make an assumption of how things fast should change, or you don't think it can change that fast. And you have all of these thoughts around what is possible, but if you knew, you would do. If you knew, you would do.
That was just what I was going to say. So I'm glad you said that, because they're making the assumption that the value and the ticket investment or whatever equates to the time. But I haven't had people ask me like, well, how many sessions and how much time? And when we get off the conversation, they are clear about the transformation they are going to receive, and that is what they're investing in. And so nobody's calculating and tallying up all of the 15 minutes here that you spent extra and all of this stuff to say, okay, that's what I'm paying for, because you're not paying for that. You're not investing in just 30 minutes, an hour, 70, whatever it is. You're investing in the change that you want to see. You're investing in up-leveling your business. You're investing in being able to do that without sacrificing your marriage. That is the investment, in understanding how to do that, how to get it, how to keep it, how to maintain it, how to live in it, how to make that your reality. That's what you're investing in.
And to add to that is that when you have that investment, and I love that, I'm going to get your affirmation quote in a second too, Scott, is that what you're getting when you're working with real coaches is everlasting, everlasting transformation. I'm working with someone right now who has a coaching business that they want to launch, but they have a consulting business that they're actively in, and they're changing the dynamic of what they're doing. And what I've taught them is so foundational that they've been able to take the things that they need for their pricing structure, the way that they need to do their proposal, their sales mojo, all of these things that they do, and they were able to do more than double on top of what they charge for a proposal that they were going to submit. They were able to walk away from a deal and have someone offer them 3 times, because I even told them, I'm like, you do what you want to do because you're a grown woman, but you need to not take that deal, for them to come back and offer 3 times the amount of what the original contract was worth, while they're still progressing. Because this other business, you got to look at the kind of market that you're going into. There's some markets that have a stronger uphill battle than others, you know, and you have to look at that. But when the foundational truths are taught, they go across the board. See, there are rules to business. There are laws to business that's just like freaking gravity. And so what some of you all can't see is that, like we said, the way that you're performing in your personal life and your business life, what you're learning for this business will be transferable to another business. And so if I were to trade with every client that I worked with dollar for dollar, I'm at a deficit. Nobody is ever making as much money as they invested in me. I remember the first time I only charged somebody $22.22 for a 7-week program. Excuse my friend, she's not really a helper, but this helper went and turned around in 48 hours of teaching her a sales strategy, sold a $7,500 package. And what's so crazy, what other people don't know, is because this is somebody that I knew and that I was friends with. She's like, yeah, you know, I got this and I'm thinking about automating it or either doing a 1-to-1. And I was like, girl, let me see what you got. She's like, because she was like, I want to do this. What do you think? And I was like, I need to see what you got. So I technically gave her, you know, a little one-off coach session as a friend. She sent me her stuff. I looked at her stuff. I said, girl, I've been around the kind of people that buy this. This is a $7,500 product. From the summertime until she worked with me in the fall and she had hired another coach, she had not sold that package not one time. Found the hole in what she was doing, and she turned around, and after paying $22.22 to get access to me, made $7,500, then turned around the following day and sold something for $37.50. Do you think she came to me and said, August, here goes $8,000 fucking dollars? No, she didn't. And so when you invest, you need to be expecting a transformation, and a transformation lasts way beyond the value of what you put in. But because you assume that there's a direct correlation between time and money, and that's the only thing that matters when you invest, you guys keep missing the mark because you falling for this dummy information that they putting out there, 6 steps, 6 figures, 6 steps, 6 sex, all of this, when it's actually a very grueling process. And you need coaches that are saying, you know what? I'm going to be in the thick of it with you. I'm going to get down in the trenches with you, because I understand the transformation takes some time. And like my boy over here said, you got to have a daily affirmation and a burning desire for success.
Yeah, that's why I said you're hungry for your business. And that's where you do your thing. You know what I'm saying? But I want to ask people to think about, you talking about assumptions, and you talked earlier about, well, that's just the reality. So I want you guys to be really honest with yourselves, right? Because we can be honest with you. I can tell you what I assumed about my business, things that I assumed about my marriage, the changes that I've made. I'm very transparent with folks because we keep it real. But the reality is that I've also seen the transformations in my clients months, years down the line, where they couldn't even talk to each other, where they couldn't feel like they could have conversations, where they were avoiding certain conversations, where they were afraid to have conflict, where you don't feel completely safe to just be in your marriage. And so for me to be an added bonus for when the things come up, as you are shifting and up leveling because you're hungry in your business, this is, to me, amazing marriage. You know, I'm just saying, an amazing marriage.
Sure.
So I want you to be honest with yourself about your reality in your business right now. What is the reality in your business right now? And do you want that to be something that changes, that shifts? And that's a yes or no question.
It really is a yes or no question.
Ma'am. I feel like it's just real negro y blanco. That's my that's from my Spanish mentor. But honestly, it really is. What is the current reality in your business? And on my side, how is it affecting how you're showing up in your marriage, and how you're seeing your spouse in terms of how you're dealing with your business?
Absolutely. And we got some more comments. You want to pull them up, and so answer these questions while she pulling up your comments so that we can respond to those. Are you 100% confident in your pricing? That's question number one. It's a yes or no. Angry faces if you're not, for those that are willing to reveal. Hearts if you are. Yeah. Are you confident in your pricing? Or do you find yourself looking at other people saying, dang, I wish that I could charge that much? Yeah. Because if you're not, then you got to thank you. You say somebody just said yes. If you ain't saying yes, then you
and if you're a little quiet, we're thinking
we already getting the answers whether you want to give them to us or not. Okay, yeah. We got a heart going on over here.
Okay.
The next thing is are you comfortable with what you have to do in your business to increase your income? Now, let me explain this. Because see, you might be comfortable with your prices right now, but you have a vision of making more money. But when you think about making more money, it means more time. So you feel like there's a war that you have to fight, because if I'm going to build a business that makes that kind of money, it's going to take me away from my family or take me away from my kids. And once again, where do you stand with that? Are you comfortable when you look at and that's if you even did the math. Yeah. When you do the math, do you look at your business and say, oh, wow, I only got this many clients. And if I get this many more, I'm still not going to feel overworked, overstressed. I'm going to feel really good about my pricing structure, the way that I serve, and it's not going to take me away from the people that I love. Because if you answer no, or you're silent on that one, then you just negated the first question. Yeah. Because at some point you have to understand that you are the unique identifying factor in your business. Absolutely. At some point you have to understand that the ones that get the premium rate are the ones who know their value. The question is, do you know where those people are that will spend that amount to get that level of access and pay that premium price? Right. That's different. It's different. Some people are saying some stuff. What do we have over here? Yeah. I thought something came up on yours too.
She said, now Camille just posted, because Damari said, yes, there are rules to this ish when you were talking about the rules to business. And
wait a minute, no, she got one. She said, yes, I was confident.
Yes, now Camille, I was confident until I had a client just drop down full payment for one of my higher tiers with no question.
Okay, bam. Now see, that's a good way. Now I love that you put that out there. So you said someone just dropped full payment for one of your higher tiers with no question. Yep. Huh? So at one point, and that's what I love about you, because you're willing to be very vulnerable. Yeah. And you say analytics help in marketing demographics. Ooh, if we were talking more on the marketing and advertising side, which we may bring that in. So pay attention to when I'm coming live, because I get into that, because a lot of when people don't even understand who their target markets are. They don't understand that you don't. Let me just say this really quickly, because I want to make sure I'm exchanging with everybody. You guys, Scott is watching with us on IG, and he says that analytics and marketing and marketing demographics, that's something that helps with what you do. And it does. And what a lot of you, what you're getting duped into is this whole thing. And Scott, this may not be you, but I know you're going to know what I'm talking about, because you see it online. You got to know how to speak to your ideal client. What does your ideal client say? What are they thinking? And that's true. It is, because it helps you with doing layman term messaging that hits the core of them. It helps you create emotional content that will create that energy for impulsive purchases. But a lot of you think you know who you're marketing to, but you don't. And you think that you're marketing to the 25-year-old, but really maybe you should be talking to the 35 or the 45-year-old. You thought that your ideal client had to at least have made, $150K a year in order to be able to afford you, but maybe it's the person that's over here only making 75. And so that's a whole nother other conversation in your business, because every time you guys are getting clients, and this is the kind of coach that I am, especially if you're starting from ground zero without the money to invest and you can't get that strategic data on the front end, you need to keep on compiling it. Because I remember there was a time when I thought I was going to get all of these younger people, but everybody that I get on the vast majority is very seasoned. They're somewhere between, I've got them from 40 to 62. Don't get me wrong. I do have a 20-year-old, 28, 33. I have half the people that are in the younger brackets, knowing your target market doesn't prevent you from gathering clients from all gleaning, but you actually do need to know your business well enough so that you can truly have the target marketing data. And so what happens in the online arena is that they tell you that everything in the textbook is irrelevant. And what I tell people all the time is you cannot swing the pendulum too far to the left or too far to the right, because you actually need both. And the more solid that you get in both, that's what makes the difference. As my coach would tell me, when you don't have that strategic data, then you can't really invest in ads and shit like that without being able to say, I know when I put $100 in that I'm gonna get $1,000 back. You just pulling at straws and you just putting stuff out there because you don't have the analytics. And once again, so there's so many things. The assumption could be that in business, all I need is this one thing, but there's never one thing. There's never one grand thing. There are so many moving parts. And what you've got to do is be on a continuous learning streak to figure out and learn all of the things that you need to do in your business. But back to the thing with Camille. One of the things that we've talked about, and we've talked about her pricing and where she really wants it to be, but she's a beast, you guys. She actually, I'm so proud of her. I think her fastest closing with a sales conversation was like 10 or 15 minutes. She's taken that thing and she's taken a conversation and she's ran with it. And she's come with so much poise and so much confidence. But see, confidence is an evolutionary thing. And every time you go to another level, then your confidence is going to be challenged to go up some more. And so just when she got comfortable, the universe has said, I seen greater for you. So this was not a sales conversation. Somebody with no question and just went on her website and said, I'm going to pay for one of these higher tier packages. And I want you to know that her smallest package for what she does happens to be $300. So somebody didn't pay her something much more than that with no questions asked, but she always shows up. She's always marketing herself. She's always penetrating. She's there. And so she's constantly working on putting everything in place to do what she needs to do. But now that somebody done paid some money without no justification, she's gonna sit there and say, shit, maybe I can charge some more.
And that's what I was going to say and ask you your opinion about, because I know this is your lane, when you were like, hey, you asked a question, are you comfortable with your pricing? People like, yes, you know, hearts, da, da, da. And I'm like, you know, I know, let me know. I'm like, okay, but is that what you really want to charge? You might be comfortable. You can be comfortable in a lot of places, okay? Is that really what you want to charge? Or are you open to being uncomfortable to get where you want to be?
Ouch. And I was changing the straight. Look, I was already changing the questions. You see how I negated number one with number two. So she was finna take you down this slippery path that I was gonna take you to challenge you on that. And that's what you have to really ask yourself. And some of you may not know that you're uncomfortable.
Thank you,
no problem. Thank you. Thank you for being here with us. We're just having so much engagement. We're gonna keep them as long as they're gonna take us. But thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
And so you have to, at some point, deal with those things that you push in the back of your mind. You're like, oh, wow. Like if you might, for one day, you might be sitting down and you see something, you see an ad run across, you're like, oh, wow, I do the same thing. Let me see what they doing. And you click, you be like, dang, they charging $6,000 for that. And here you charging $1,800, but $1,800 is better than that job that you had where you were barely bringing in $1,800 a month. And this was just for one service, right? And so you'll say to yourself, because you're comparing where you came from to where you are now. But if you get an opportunity to get a glimpse into the future, if you get an opportunity to see what's possible, then the question then really is, are you really comfortable? Because some of you are saying that you're comfortable because you don't know the possibilities, and you don't know the possibilities because you want to do something as simple as go to www.packagepriceprofit.com and apply for a literal free session with Imani and ourselves for us to talk to you and say, hey, we see you in these streets. See, one of the other things is people have an assumption that you got to be downtrodden in the dumps in your marriage and your business before you invest. But when you get that far down, it's harder for you to come up. And so at some point, you need to say to yourself, I'm not going to fall all the way down before I decide to make a decision. Actually, for the person who's grounded and you have a vision, you need to make the decision not to surrender to mediocrity. Because for a lot of you that said you're comfortable, I bet you if I talk to you, you would realize that you weren't. I'll give this example before, you say some other things that we get ready to close, because we had you guys for a while. Mm-hmm. I remember I had this one client. Now, mind you, this client was a 7-figure earner, and she was also a speaker. Now, here she is. She was a 7-figure earner, but when I asked her about what she was doing as a speaker, she was some little fee, like $500. Now, mind you, she also wanted me to help her break in the online arena. And based on what she was doing, the kind of group she wanted to start, the price point that she wanted to implement, I was like, I'm just being real with you. That's not going to grow overnight like that. And when you think about how much money you want to make and how you want this business to expand, I would like literally pull out the calculator. You need like 700 people in this group, and do you understand what the game looks like to penetrate it? And so here it is. If I were to assume that just because she was a 7-figure earner in this piece of business where she was an expert at, that she had her pricing right everywhere else. And so when I said to her, you need to charge more, you with your expertise, she got the letters behind her name, but y'all don't have to have no letters behind your name either. I was like, you need to charge this amount. I literally challenged her to do at least a minimum of 5 times the amount. We negotiated down a little bit. As a coach, I was pushing her, but you can't make anybody do anything. But her justification for not charging more was because, well, in my area. I said, for real? I said, and what's your area? What's your zip code? And I Googled, because we've been doing a session on Zoom, and I showed her Black, white, men, and women who were charging that amount and upward of what I told her minimum base value should be. And from that, just that discovery alone, she saw what was possible. And right after that, this is a beautiful thing. It's not always just because of coaching, but the reality of it is that when you get with a coach who has a vision, it's somewhat prophetic. And when they're telling you that you should do certain things, they're making sure that you're not getting ready, that you're staying ready. So when opportunities come, you're not fumbling around trying to figure out how to seize them. And a speaking gig came right behind that. And I said, see, now that's what you need to do. Keep doing your speaking gigs, because the investment that you made with me, if you're looking to see a return on your investment in a short period of time, tap into what you already have and make sure that you go that way to get your money while you're steadily building this other thing that's going to take some time to build out. So a lot of you, your comfort is based in mediocrity and a lack of knowledge, and you're assuming some things. But if you dig long enough, hard enough, strong enough in the right places, you're going to realize that, wait a minute, I'm sleeping on the possibilities.
Absolutely. I mean, the possibilities for your business and your marriage, those are the things that we're like, okay, that can be your reality. And if you don't see it, we hold the space for you to be able to see it. Now, I'll say this, because what I'm doing as a compliment to August taking your business to the next level is that the elevation in entrepreneurship, the elevation and the growth for you in your business and entrepreneurship, because I've seen it, because I've heard it, because I've been through it, I continue to go through it because we get it. It has its ebb and flow. This is why you need guidance. It has these bumps and bruises that come with it, because that's part of we'll say, I'm going to say growing pains just because I'm on that analogy, but it has these growing pains that come in it that have to do with your mindset, that affect you physically, that affect how you show up, that make you feel stressed, which is why having a coach that specializes in mindset and sales and strategy, or I should have said the mindset in the middle, because I know that's how it goes. The mindset's in the middle because it brings everything together. It's the core. Is going to be so key for you. I understand that on an intrinsic level, so does August. And even if you don't, even though I think everybody here does, it's a very bright bunch we've got here.
Yes, we do.
That how important that is. So when that stuff happens, when the technology's not working, when you wanted to have a launch but it didn't go like you thought it was going to go, when you put everything you could into marketing something that you wanted to put out there and nobody signed up, when you were out there and you were like, well, I'm charging pennies and you still don't see my value and you still don't want to pay me, and you're dealing with this and you're feeling like you're about to bubble over because you're putting your whole essence into your business, baby. How is that affecting? Let me tell you, I don't even have to ask you this question. I can ask you, but I can tell you that it absolutely affects your household and your marriage.
Yes, it does.
And that kind of blockage will block you from the reality that is just now an inkling of what you feel may be possible. Like I said, we hold the space for you if you don't really see what's possible. I like how you put it, that you have to be the visionary that goes beyond their vision. I've had clients tell me, you know, this was more than I thought I was going to get. I said I wanted this, but we got more than this. I don't even have any words, right? Because that's the kind of place that we put it in. So to have August make sure that you are up-leveling your business, the inevitable moments that are going to be rough, that are going to feel stressful, to have guidance through that. And then to say, you know what? I still feel like I have the support that I need. I have the ear that I need. I have what I need in my household, the peace, the environment that allows me to come down off that place and be able to bring myself back up and promote yet another program, you know, out bump that nobody signed up for the first one, to promote yet another program, to put that time in, to be gone for a whole weekend for a program that I did that actually was going to be successful, and know that I don't have to come home and hear my husband complaining about the fact that the dishes aren't in the sink and the laundry still isn't folded, because he understands what it is that I am doing on a deeper level, and he supports me in not some broad stroke kind of way, but he actually supports me. And not what support looks like over here for X and Y, but what support looks like for me and my husband in our home, in our marriage, because it is unique and it is not cookie cutter, and we don't do cookie cutter. No. And so the fact that I can be of support when those things come up, as you were going through the trenches with this woman to build your business, is amazing, is a no-brainer to me, for those of you who are really being honest with yourselves in this moment from the questions that we asked.
And you know, it's so funny how everything that you said was so basic, but I want to know if you all can guess what's the most basic question that my clients ask me all the time. I'm going to tell you what it is without even waiting for you guys to even say it. The most basic question is, what do I say? Every single time I get hit on Messenger, somebody comes in my group, they have screenshot a conversation, and it's like, oh my God, this person reached out to me and they sound like they want my product. Okay, so what do I do? They sound like they already want me, but they didn't exactly say it. So do I make them an offer? If I make them an offer now, will I push them away and then they'll think I'm being pushy and they won't get the sale? Yeah. Or do I take the time and am I still building a rapport? And if I do build a rapport, how long do I build a rapport before they get tired of me and then they end up going to get something from somebody else? Okay, well, no, this person actually seems like they're really excited and they're motivated in order to move with me, but I'm just dealing with this one thing because I don't want to say something like I said last time, because the last time I said this person was confused and thought I was going to give them all of this, and I don't understand what it is that I did wrong. Oh, this person sent me an email and they said all of these things, and I have to sit there with them and say, baby, breathe, slow down, look at the language, listen to what they're saying, understand your value. What is it that you're supposed to convey? You know, and I've literally taken some of my clients and put them on a Zoom call and they share the screen and we see you say it's so true. And we sat there and looked at the screen. I've even looked at their posts, and when they created these posts, I say, create posts like this so it creates engagement. And I'll literally say, with this kind of person right here, respond back to them like this, ask them this question. With this kind of person right here, don't even ask them anything else, take it on the back door and have a conversation with them through instant messenger. With this person, get on the phone with them as quick as you can, because the strike while the iron is hot. And I'm going to tell you something, I have yet because to be wrong, because I understand the psychology of people, and it's something that they have to keep pushing through and pushing through and pushing through until they build up the muscle to begin to start recognizing the language cues and also understanding how to confidently sell and present themselves. And so once again, the assumption sometimes is that what you need in your business is more in depth than what it is. Yeah, we're going to get down to strategy. Yeah, we're going to talk about sales. I'm going to look at everything you got, how you packaging it, how you pricing it, making sure you're not stressing the shit out of yourself so that you make enough money. She going to be right there with you when you need support. But when you got them little bitty burning questions that you know you wish that you were able to ask somebody, you need to get what you pay for. And so what a lot of you all are dealing with out here is that you have dealt with too many situations where you're not getting what you pay for. If you pay for it, you need to get the attention.
Absolutely.
But what's happening is you're being in these groups and you're thrown into this place where there's a sea full of people and you're getting on these calls and so many people are on there, and you got to be lucky and listen to at least 3 or 4 people get their questions answered, and you still got to figure out and think for yourself, well, how do I relate that to me? How many of you have said, I know what's in my way? I've got to get out of my own way. Well, if you still got to think through all the stuff that you're dealing with in your business after you watch the YouTube videos, paying to be in a group that may be strategically drip dropping information in a specific order still leaves you to think for yourself. I'm brilliant. I see stuff for people all the time, but I was just on a session with my coach to ask a question for him to give me clarity, because it's so hard to see beyond your own stuff. It's okay when you're looking at an issue on your arm, but when you in your head, I can't see behind my head. And even when I'm holding a mirror, sometimes I'm more distracted about how I'm holding it to look at what's going on in the back, that I can't even really focus on what's going on in the back. And so what you all need and the guidance that you are desiring, you need it on some of the most microscopic, not just the macro level. You need it on a micro level in order to get the support that you need for your business. So ladies, we have taught you guys. We have taught you guys. We need some
They stay with us though, warriors.
Yeah, a lot of you hung in there. Listen, if you have not shared this video yet, you know that there were boulders that were being dropped. Y'all, I got put in word jail. I can't call what I drop nuggets no more.
You're good. I
drop boulders. Look, I want you all to carry the same kind of confidence. Between Imani and myself, the questions that we brought up to the table, the things that we presented about your marriage and your business, this has been information that is so magnificent. Share this with some other people so they get the word out. If you don't want to be in a drawing, just to message us and tell us that, but don't keep the word from anybody else. Absolutely. You know that a team, you and your sister girls that you team up with, you want to make sure you all are being infused with the same level of conversation. So so share that and get it out. But in the meantime, and in between time, if we've hit a nerve and we've let you see something greater, we've piqued your curiosity of what the possibilities are, it costs you nothing to have a session with us. Go to packagepriceprofit.com. For some of you, the link may be a little different. It's a bit.ly link that'll be on Imani's video, but go there, fill out an application. They're the same. We both go over all of them together and sit down and talk with us so that you can explore the possibilities.
Absolutely. I mean, there it is.
And thank you for the love. All of the love. Y'all so awesome.
They are.
So thank you,
Linda and Eric. And I would say off the bat, Camille, in the very beginning, before we even started, I saw Camille, I saw Angel Erica, and I saw Damari already share. So I appreciate you guys.
Yes, thank you guys.
Yes. And I think Damari even tagged somebody. So I appreciate that as well. That gives you already 4 entries into the next drawing, Damari.
Yes.
So I'm really, really excited about that. But yeah, I mean, we a little hot. We a little hot right now. It's hot in here, so even though the AC is on.
Woo, I'm exuding a lot of energy.
Yes.
Mwah.